Hi, I'm Felicia Giouzelis, a master healer, and I'm here to talk to you today about the abandonment core wound when it manifests as burden. So the abandonment core wound can show up in many different ways. One of those ways is a feeling of burden. It's that weight of the world on your shoulders energy. And when burden comes up, it will make you more resistant to taking responsibility. That's because burden energy makes you feel like you have to carry everything. You have to carry other people's emotions. You have to carry their reactions. And how this shows up, especially for empaths, so people that are more sensitive, healers, light workers, people sensitive to energy. Certainly this can affect everyone, whether you consider yourself an empath or not. But it'll make you resistant to wanting to really commit and decide what you're going to do, which is taking responsibility, right? It makes you more resistant to actually making a choice and fully claiming inside of you what it is that you want and having the courage to take that leap, to take that step. Because inside what you're feeling is that you're going to be all alone. You're the one that's going to have to take all of that burden. That's how that shows up. So one of the ways that you want to start to shift that burden energy is by having really good boundaries. And the first one you want to work on is your energetic boundaries, right? So energy's out here. It's the energy that surrounds you. It's how you are relating to the world energetically. People can pick up on your vibe long before they even talk to you, right? Even see you. Have you ever noticed when you're walking down the street, you can kind of tell if you want to say hi to someone, or you can kind of sense like if they look away from you, they don't want to talk or they're in a hurry or whatever. Even if you don't really know what that's called, and that is intuition, you feel it, right? You can sense how the other person is responding to you or interacting with their own environment. And so that burden energy can come into place as that type of feeling, where you feel some kind of pull or resistance to taking on more than maybe you're able to. And then you start to feel energetically stretched. So one of the ways you want to resolve this is by closing some of those energetic gaps. You want to look in areas of your life and decide, where have you taken on too much, right? Just make a list. Open up a journal and just make a list. Where are you taking on things that maybe you're not really enjoying, things that don't bring you joy? Where have you taken on things because you felt like the other people couldn't do it, or somebody placed these demands on you and you just didn't know how to say no, right? And hold a firm boundary. You want to make a list of all of those areas where you're not really enthusiastic about whatever it is that's on your list. And you want to start closing those gaps. I call them plugging the drains. You want to start just putting plugs in those, saying no, canceling the subscription, whatever it is. All of that is tugging at your energy. So you want to start by being honest with yourself about what that is, where it's coming from, and maybe where you've taken on things or commitments that you're not really excited about. Those are called energy drains. They can be in the form of people as well, energy vampires. Probably heard that term. It's the same exact thing. You may have committed to people or situations that don't really feel good to you. This happens a lot in families. It happens a lot with partners who are codependent. If you're attracting codependent partners, this could be you carrying a lot of that weight, right? A lot of that burden in the relationship, and it'll leave you feeling very drained and exhausted because you're basically carrying most of that load and your partner isn't contributing equally to that dynamic, to what you're trying to create together. And over time, this burden energy builds up as resentment, and you start to really resent the person that you're with. And this could be outside of a partnership. This could be in friendships. This happens in friendships all the time, actually. Friends that are maybe always calling, asking you for advice that they never take, and you're left feeling really drained after the conversation. Things like that. I mean, there's simple things that we don't really think about. And yet when you stop to make this list, as I'm suggesting, you start to become really aware of where you're allowing this to take place. And that awareness can lead you to starting to set some good, healthy boundaries and finding ways to contribute if you want to that don't involve you necessarily reaching in and doing something about it for the person. The technique I like to use for this is I basically keep to myself. I don't offer people advice. I don't offer suggestions on how to fix anything. Even if I see that someone is literally train wrecking their life, I don't reach in and offer advice. And the reason I don't do that is because it feels burdensome to me, right? And also the person is not receptive unless they actually ask you for help. Until somebody asks for your advice or help, you really have no business reaching in and offering them help. Number one, that's going to drain your energy. Number two, they're resistant to getting that help. If they wanted your help, they would have asked you. So reserve your precious energy for people that actually want your help, for people that actually care what you have to say, and let them train wreck their life if that's what it takes. Obviously, this is not the case for extreme cases, right? There are times that we have to reach in. It's the right thing to do if somebody is in an extreme, abusive, self-sabotage, anything like that where they can harm themselves and cause, you know the type of harm we're talking about, right? That's when you want to reach in. But if it's just average, everyday decisions, which is what it is most of the time, sit back, be a supportive ear, don't reach your energy, don't overextend yourself. And most people just want someone to be able to talk to. The reason you have burden coming up is because you're doing things you haven't been asked to do. You're overextending your energy, you're reaching in. So keep your energy, keep it to yourself, be there to support if you can and if you want to, and otherwise set some good, healthy, firm boundaries. I hope that helps. If you are interested in hearing more about what I have to say, I have more core wound videos coming. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and click the bell so that you're notified. I will talk to you next time.